upcoming new moon in Scorpio is transformative, but not necessarily easy. Hi, I'm Megan, witch and modern astrologer, here to help you manifest with the new and full moons. Please subscribe and let's talk about the new moon. This upcoming new moon in the water sign of Scorpio is going to be occurring Monday, November 13th at 4:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will feel the energy for about 72 hours on either side of the new moon. However, I recommend you wait until that specific 4:27 time to do anything that is manifesting and bringing things into your life, as that is when the moon starts increasing. Prior to that is the dark moon period, which is the 3 days before the new moon, where the moon is shrinking. And it's not the best time to really bring anything to your life. It's a great time for shadow work. If you're interested in learning about the dark moon, I highly recommend this book of Blood and Bones. It goes all about working with shadow magic in the dark moon, etc., etc. Scorpio is a fixed water sign and its symbol is the scorpion. Water signs are associated with emotions, and fixed signs are in the middle of their season and tend to be more stubborn, more resistant to change. Scorpio is a very transformative sign, and it's kind of a double negative. It is stubborn in that it really wants to change, to break through, to transform, to use that watery emotional energy to make new breakthroughs. Scorpio is a dark and mysterious sign associated with secrets. I like to say that Halloween is a Scorpio. Why even manifest with the moon? New moons offer us the opportunity for a new beginning, as they are the start of the lunar cycle. It's kind of a similar reason why it's easier to start things on a Sunday or the first of the month. The new moon is that beginning of that cycle, giving you a new opportunity for growth. As Scorpio is a transformative sign, new moons in Scorpio tend to be a very shocking and very emotionally disruptive new beginning, which is a good thing. It's like the Tower card in astrology. You can't really have anything new until a breakdown of the old. That is just how dramatic change tends to happen in your life. So be open to that this new moon, and know if you feel like your life is falling apart, a lot of us are in the same boat. We are all in it together. That's why astrology is so helpful. You can preempt these energies and use them to transform yourself into the better, instead of just being shocked and wondering why you're crying all the time, why you're so emotional. Scorpio rules the 8th house of sex, death, secrets, and taxes. So this new moon, check to see if you're aligning with the higher or lower vibration of the sign that is in your 8th house, as well as checking your Scorpio placements, as those areas will likely be more effective. I have my Mercury, Venus, and North Node in Scorpio, so I'm like, ooh, ready for a new, fresh beginning. Bring it on, universe. Generally, full moons are a better time for shadow work, as the full moon illuminates shadows, but this Scorpio season, the entire season, is actually a really wonderful time to work on those inner wounds. To work on your shadows, you can get something like this that is a specific shadow work journal with prompts. So some tips for finding your shadows are to look for areas of your life where you have a trigger or disproportionate response. So either you have like maybe too much of a response to certain things, or maybe you just don't care at all. It's good to look at those. Like, I know for me, comments about like my eating or weight, it's like, ugh, and I know that's something to work on. I'm sure a lot of women, people have that to work on. That's just one example of a shadow. You might be afraid to speak up because a teacher told you to be quiet once. Also look at your own past behavior for shadows. If you do or say something and looking back, you go, that's not me. Like, that doesn't jive with how I view myself. See what caused those actions. Were you doing it out of fear, out of the ego? That is another thing to look out for shadow work. And that's part of the reason why I say this new moon is not necessarily easy, because working on our shadows is very tough. It's that watery energy of Scorpio, and it might bring up deep, intense emotions. And allow yourself to feel them this new moon. Scorpio does not shy away from feeling very deeply. Scorpio can be a very intense sign, and not in a very like crying, emotional Pisces way, but a very deep, Scorpios like to hold a grudge. If you know, you know. But this deep emotion allows us to really go inward and work on ourselves in a way that is real. I feel like a lot of content on YouTube is kind of abstract. It's like manifest abundance. What does that even mean? But this new moon in Scorpio gives you some very real things to look out for that will actually improve your life, because once you're aware of your triggers and your shadows, you can finally work on them. And the more you work on your shadows, the less you'll look back on your past behavior and think like, why did I do that? This shadow work really will allow you to step into the highest version of yourself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on shadow work. Some aspects for this new moon. Aspects can add a little bit of color and texture to the energy of the new moon. Mars in Scorpio will be conjunct this new moon. Conjunctions are amplifications of energy. Conjunctions with Mars can add an energy of frustration and intensity and aggression to a new moon, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Scorpio traditionally is ruled by Mars, so it is very happy there. The energies work very well together. This new moon, use that Mars energy to enhance and motivate your transformations. Areas where you're feeling frustrated, especially if there's a boundary or something that you're not keeping that's causing you to feel frustrated, take note of that. Often areas in our life where we tend to get really frustrated and aggravated are areas where we either are not enforcing a boundary or we might need to make a change in that system so that it aligns with the highest version of ourselves. Some rituals for this new moon in Scorpio. First off, pay attention to your dreams. Keep a journal next to your bed and write down what comes up in your dreams. Our dreams can speak so many volumes to what's going on in our subconscious. If you notice any themes that keep coming up, take note of that. I would keep a dream journal around a week on either side of the new moon and then go back and audit that and see if anything is recurring, if there's any fears that are recurring, and you can even Google like what things mean in dreams. Our dreams connect us with our subconscious, so if you notice any themes, animals, fears, whatever, coming up again and again, you know you might need to work on those things. Another ritual for this new moon is to pick an area of your life that you are ready for transformation and give that area a physical refresh. For example, if you need to work on your fitness, cleaning your gym bag, or if you need to work on your diet, cleaning out your fridge. Something that is removing in order to make space for new and better things. Another ritual for this new moon in Scorpio, as I recommend for all new moons in water signs, is to take a ritual bath. Take some time, sit in water, make yourself some human soup, meditate, no devices, music, and see what comes up. Allow yourself that time for self-care to sit with yourself in comfort and relaxation, and you might be surprised what things you release. Another ritual for this new moon, and this one might be a little bit painful, I'm sorry, but it is to schedule something that you know you have to do, but you are not looking forward to. So a dentist appointment, following up with your accountant, something that needs to get done in your life, but you're dreading. Face your fears, do it, and I'm sure once it's done, you will feel a whole lot better. I hope you enjoyed these tips for the upcoming new moon in Scorpio. Some themes around this new moon are going to be allowing yourself to feel intensely, recognizing your shadows, and embracing transformation. As someone with a Scorpio stellium, I am both dreading and excited for this new moon. Let me know in the comments below what house Scorpio is in, or if you have any Scorpio placements, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Happy new moon, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.